People who grew up in the 1960s belonged to a generation that was shaped in the space between two very different worlds. Their early childhood began in a society that felt structured, predictable, and orderly. Rules were clear, authority was rarely questioned, and life followed an expected path. But as they grew older, that sense of certainty began to crack. Social movements, wars, cultural revolutions, and challenges to traditional authority unfolded in real time around them. This generation did not simply observe change, they were psychologically formed by it. One of the most defining features of their childhood was routine. Daily life followed a strict rhythm. School, home, responsibilities, and family expectations. This structure gave their nervous systems a sense of safety and predictability. However, that same structure left little room for emotional exploration. Children were rarely asked how they felt. They were evaluated based on behavior and performance. From an early age, they learned that emotions were secondary, while responsibility came first. Emotional expression in many 1960s households was often discouraged. Crying, fear, or confusion were frequently labeled as weakness or overreaction. Children who showed strong emotions were told to be strong or stop making a fuss. As a result, many learned not how to process emotions but how to suppress them. Over time, this suppression became so normal that it merged into their personality. Feelings were not ignored out of cruelty but out of conditioning. Discipline was valued far more than comfort. Parenting during this era focused on obedience, self-control, and resilience rather than emotional safety. Comfort was seen as something earned, not guaranteed. Struggle was considered a normal part of life, not something to be softened or avoided. Because of this, many people from this generation tied their sense of worth to effort and productivity. Rest often felt undeserved, and stillness could trigger guilt. Work became more than a responsibility, it became identity. Their relationship with authority developed in a complicated way. Inside the home, obedience was expected without explanation. Outside, the world was questioning power structures, governments, and social norms. This contradiction shaped a unique mindset. People from this generation often understand rules deeply but trust them cautiously. They may follow systems outwardly while remaining inwardly skeptical. Their rebellion is rarely loud. It is quiet, internal, and restrained. Privacy became an emotional shield. Personal struggles were kept within the family, and family issues were not discussed openly. Sharing too much about oneself was considered inappropriate or undignified. This taught them to rely on themselves emotionally and to keep their inner world protected. Even today, many from this generation feel uncomfortable with oversharing or seeking validation. For them, privacy is not avoidance, it is self-respect. In relationships, duty was prioritized over desire. Love was understood through responsibility, loyalty, and long-term commitment rather than constant emotional expression. Feelings were shown through actions, showing up, providing stability, staying consistent, not through words. This is why many people from this generation say, "I love you," less often but demonstrate love through reliability. Their affection may seem quiet, but it is deeply rooted. Mental health awareness was minimal during their formative years. Concepts like anxiety, depression, or emotional burnout were rarely discussed. Psychological pain was often dismissed as weakness or simply accepted as part of life. As a result, many learned to normalize their suffering. They coped by minimizing their feelings, telling themselves that everyone goes through the same struggles. This normalization helped them survive, but it also prevented emotional processing. Because of this, much of their trauma remained unprocessed. Survival became more important than understanding. When difficulties arose, emotions were pushed aside in favor of practical solutions. This made them resilient and capable, but emotionally disconnected from their own needs. Even today, many attribute exhaustion to age or circumstances rather than emotional overload. They are often described as emotionally distant, but this interpretation misses the truth. They are not emotionally absent. They are emotionally trained. They learned how to stay calm in crisis, how to function under pressure, and how to put feelings aside when necessary. When someone comes to them with emotional pain, they often respond with solutions rather than reassurance. For them, problem solving is a form of care. As this generation ages, unspoken emotions sometimes rise to the surface. Regret may appear quietly, regret for words left unsaid, feelings unexpressed, or needs ignored. Yet even then, they rarely complain. Acceptance becomes their primary coping mechanism. They learn to live with what was never processed, carrying it with quiet endurance. The psychology of people who grew up in the 1960s teaches us that strength does not always look expressive. Silence can be a language. Emotional restraint can be a survival skill. Their way of being may differ from modern emotional openness, but it was shaped by necessity, not neglect. They used the tools available to them, and those tools kept them functioning in a rapidly changing world. This generation is not broken. They are conditioned. Their behaviors, emotional control, and reserve are the natural result of the environment they were raised in. When they speak less, feel privately, or maintain strong boundaries, it is not a flaw. It is a history written more in actions than in words, and one that continues to shape their psychology in subtle, lasting ways.